Monday, April 22nd, 2019 at 6:02 PM. Roll call, Linda?
Cindy Garrity.
Here.
Nicole Boyd.
Here.
Glenn Carlson.
Here.
Deb Knopf.
Here.
Larry Derrigan.
Here.
Craig Copeland.
Here.
Rocky Tripp.
Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Rocky will come in now.
Linda, can you confirm the meeting posting?
Yes, I can confirm tonight's meeting was posted at all designated locations.
All right, we're going to move into the school board reorganization. First item is 5.1, administer the official oath of office to school board members.
Did mine.
So they were, yes, down at City Hall. So we're just going to have you stand and
Do I have to
raise
do
your
that
right
too?
hand. Larry,
I thought I did
Nicole,
that already.
and Cindy, you did, but this is just for,
Just for show.
My other way. Okay. Oh, come on there, Cindy.
I'm trying to find it so I don't have to
She
mess
got it
up.
in her hand.
Okay.
okay. So Nicole, Larry, and Cindy, you have been duly elected to the Bayfield School Board and have affirmed that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin, and will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of said office to the best of your ability.
I will.
All right.
That's it, eh?
All right. Next item is item 5.2, the election of officers. And we'll start out with board president. I am going to make the motion to have Nicole Boyd become board president.
Second.
Discussion. We have to call for nominations on this? No, we don't, do we? Do we? All right.
I think Larry seconded it.
No, Cindy did.
I'll just call for nominations 3 times just to clarify it.
It is 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is 3 times.
Where is it?
One more time, I need more nominations for board president. Last and final call for nominations for board president. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? We have a new president.
There you go.
Thank you all.
Yay. Thank you, Nicole. And thank you, Craig.
Thank you, Craig.
Yeah, that journal.
It was fun. I'm just, to be brutally honest, I just can't dedicate the time that it takes no longer. I did it for 8 years. And it's not fair to the students, first of all, to the staff and to the board. I cannot put in the time that it takes to do this proper, so thank you all for everything.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Now I'm gonna move.
And you,
Roger,
take
you
over.
got it?
Yep.
Yeah. That's why I said, are you ready?
I like this.
Oh, yeah.
Rocky might be surprised when he comes in.
Oh wait, your other mail.
Yeah, you'll need that for finance committee stuff.
Just to review.
Oh, I got it,
Just
yeah.
to review, you got it.
We are gonna call for nominations of our vice president board.
I'll nominate Deb Knopf.
I'll second it.
Do we have any other nominations for our vice president? Any other nominations for our vice president? Any other nominations for our vice president? No other nominations. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Debbie is our continued vice president.
Continued vice president. Thank you.
And nominations for treasurer.
I nominate Glenn Carlson.
Second.
Any other nominations for our treasurer? Any other nominations for our treasurer? Final call for nominations of our treasurer. All those in favor of Glenn Carlson as our treasurer signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Glenn is our continued treasurer. We'll call for nominations of our clerk of our board.
Nominate Cindy.
I will second it.
Are there any other nominations for our clerk? Any other nominations for our clerk? Any other nominations for our clerk? All those in favor of Cindy Garrity as our clerk signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Cindy is our continued clerk.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cindy Lou. Let's see. I have so many agendas.
5.2.
All right.
5.2 on your, yeah.
Yeah, it's in the exhibits, you have to go.
It's a couple
Yeah.
pages back. There you go.
So our current CISA rep is
Did you take that, Larry?
Larry
took
Larry.
that. Yeah.
Motion to approve Larry as our.
CISA 12.
CISA 12 representative.
Second.
I nominate Craig Hoopman.
I respectfully decline.
How about Rocky? He's not here. Okay. If I have to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
all those in favor of Larry as our CISO 12 representative signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Larry is our CISO 12 rep.
Did I go
Are
three
we,
times already?
not on that
We
one.
didn't have
It's
to.
not a,
I want disappointment.
yeah. We have to go through all of them?
Mhm.
Okay. Our Wisconsin Association of School Board delegate is currently myself.
I nominate Nicole.
I'll second
All those in favor signify
Aye.
by saying aye.
it.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. That'll be me. Our representative for our CISA 12 convention was Stephanie, is currently sort of Larry.
I move that Larry be appointed our representative for the CISA 12 convention.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Larry, gonna be a busy man. We'll move on to the policy committee. Current members are Cindy Garrity, Nicole Boyd, and there's a vacancy. Is there a board member? It was Stephanie. Larry?
I suppose they, since I'm filling in for her.
Okay. Oh, we don't have to motion on this, right?
No, I don't think we
Just
need a motion.
finalize.
Teacher negotiation committee, Deb Knopf, Rocky Tribb, Cindy Garrity, all three okay?
Yeah.
Support staff negotiations committee is Nicole Boyd, Deb Knopf, Glenn Carlson, all okay?
Yep.
Educational collaborative steering committee, Cindy, Deb.
Question.
Yes.
I have never had a meeting on this yet, or heard of anything on it, so what is it actually?
Which one?
Educational collaborative steering committee.
Is anyone aware of what it is, or who it is, or?
It sounds good, but
We,
it doesn't meet.
We were looking at that earlier in the last week or mid-last week, and we were kind of like, what is that about? I don't recall past meetings where that particular committee came forward with anything.
Maybe we could table that
Yeah,
till the
I-
next
Or
meeting.
just take
I
it out?
remember
Or take it
in
out.
years past,
Yeah.
when, and I think about Bob Nelson was on our board, and there was effort made to have a group that was looking at state initiatives and advocacy roles, you know, how we could advocate for the northern districts with state policies that were being made if that was needed. And I don't remember if that was a different title. I don't know if you remember or not, but anyway, So there was an effort, at that time to kind of have an eye on what was happening in
How
Madison.
long ago was that?
Well, Bob Nelson hasn't probably been on here
Well, if we
for,
don't-
So
met,
nobody's
why-
been
why
on
even
it.
mess with
2009.
9 years ago.
I'm
Yeah.
curious, could this have been a misprint? Was that on last spring when we
What
did
had to
this?
been?
This is
on-
current
yeah.
18-19.
Right, yeah, correct.
Yeah.
But I don't,
I think we brought it up last year too, but we weren't sure either.
mm-hmm,
But,
we
I
might
think
as well
we
take
should
it,
kind
take
of
it
keep
off.
something
Or-
like this on because we got something new coming out. Was the PTO or PT group coming on? Maybe we could have part of it. I don't know.
ETAL,
What would be the
every
function?
teacher leader, they're here tonight.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What would be the function? You mentioned some, but,
I think this just requires further
apparently it
investigation
wasn't very
and maybe.
important.
Should we table it? like
Let's
Glenn
table
mentioned?
that and look at,
Yeah.
maybe we need to go into some past minutes and see when that was instituted.
We'll move on to the finance committee then. Current finance committee members are Nicole Boyd, Craig Hoopman, Rocky Tribovich.
I'd
And
like to
has
be-
Glenn been on
I
that as
haven't
well,
been on,
as a
but I'd
treasurer?
Go, but
How big is that committee?
it's
Well,
been 3.
it can be
Three.
3 because otherwise there's
It's
a quorum.
So, because it makes sense to have the treasurer on there.
Glenn is typically present at the meetings.
So then do you have to
and
post it?
Craig and I,
Should be on it.
yeah.
The
It-
treasurer should be on it.
And it's posted anyway? for the-
It's posted
It's open.
anyway, so it's okay, okay. And we can leave it as it is, I guess, and just make sure that Glenn is considered a standing part of that committee as the
I
treasurer.
think I'm not. If I'm not on the committee, I think I need to be named
Yeah,
to be on it.
Well, I would step off to put him on, and then that way, I mean, I'm still gonna show up for the meetings, but if there's an issue, I can back out the door if it's a quorum or an
Okay.
issue. So,
okay. I nominate Glenn Carlson to be, or we don't have to, it's a
So it'll
vote
be-
appointed.
yeah.
Nicole, myself, and Rocky then?
Mhm.
Okay.
Our wellness committee members are currently myself,
Thank you,
Glenn
Craig.
Carlson, and Cindy Garrity. You guys good? Our buildings and grounds safety committee is currently Craig Hoopman, Rocky Tribovich, and Glenn Carlson. You guys good? Okay. I would like to just make comment to policy 811, Indian parent, the Indian parent involvement policy requires us to have a board member JOM liaison. In our policy, it's recognized as the administrator. Is that currently still gonna be you?
It can be, yeah.
I'd like to have it added to this exhibit.
The JOM.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
And if it isn't you, then we can appoint a different liaison between the district and that committee.
Because right now, the administrators make the attempt every month to go to the JOM meeting the first Wednesday of the month. So it really should be an admin person probably for that purpose, in my opinion.
But it makes sense to add that to this
Yeah,
list.
I would add it to
Sure.
this
Yeah.
list.
Mhm.
For our regular meeting times and dates, meetings are held the second Monday of the month. Exceptions would be the October meeting, which will be held in conjunction with the meeting the board sets the tax levy, and April meeting, which will be held in conjunction with the swearing in of new board members. Meeting start times are 6 p.m. with the exception of June, July, and August, which start times will be 7 p.m. We did that last summer as the first exception to that, per request from Rocky. We could move back to that 6 o'clock time, or does anyone else have another proposal?
Yeah, I think moving, I think after we did this to accommodate one person, and actually they only showed up to one of the 5 meetings that we had last summer. And then subsequent to that, we found out that we're paying staff administrators to, attend meetings, which if they're an hour later, I presume we're paying them for an hour more. So I'd like to propose that we go back to 6 o'clock for the summer meetings.
I would too.
Yeah.
That me?
How about that? Keep it, Linda? 6 o'clock, all meetings. Our finance committee typically meets at 5 PM the Thursday prior to the school board's regular meeting, and the policy committee typically meets at 5:30 PM the Thursday prior to the school board's regular meeting. Well, the
I think
wellness
half an
committee
hour's enough for
meets
the
the
finance
second
meeting.
Tuesday of the month at 3:45. Other committees meet as needed. Let's start with the finance committee. 5 o'clock Thursday before.
Sounds good.
Policy 5:30 Thursday before.
Do we want to put in there the exceptions for the winter months for you guys?
Oh,
For the
sure.
4:30 ferry boat and
Sure,
stuff that you
the
guys-
finance committee, to move to 4:30, let's say January, February, March, April. That's agreeable.
And then we would just move the policy committee half
Is
hour
half an
earlier.
hour enough for the finance committee? Do you ever run out of?
It's only a couple
Very
times.
seldom.
in
Yeah,
years
if
since
there's a
I've ever done one.
significant item, then we
Oh.
have the work group meeting or,
Okay, okay.
otherwise,
It's usually 3 items at the
yeah.
most.
The wellness committee meets the second Tuesday of the month at 3:45. That's still good? Yeah. Does it work for you, Glenn?
Mhm. That works good.
No, it works good.
Can I just get a clarification?
Yeah.
I want to go back a little bit. The JOM committee, do you want the superintendent and 1 board member? 2 people on that?
The policy states a board member liaison.
Okay.
However, the superintendent is technically a board member. They're just a
They're not.
I don't
non-voting.
think they're a board member.
In the policies, I believe it is, that they are a board member.
Yes, it
Okay.
is, yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
Just a
Non-voting,
Okay.
Okay.
so it can be superintendent or whoever you guys,
Okay.
your administrative team thinks is.
Liaison.
We're moving on to the approval of the agenda, number 5.
So,
Second.
Table the Neola to the 13th.
Do you want us to wait till we get down there?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Okay, we have a motion by Craig and a second by Larry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Number 6 from the audience. We don't have any forms, but we have a card. It says, "Thank you to the School District of Bayfield staff for the flowers for my father's funeral. It means a lot to me for that support. Dave Doring."
Okay.
We are on approval of our school board minutes from March 11th, 2019, our regular school board meeting.
Motion to approve.
Motion- Motion by Deb, second by Cindy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Our special board meeting from April 9th.
Move the approval.
Second.
Motion by Glenn, second by Debbie. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to our communications reports. Do we have Jerry Berg here? No? Are we gonna have an update from anyone else for LCO College?
So, yes, so we're going to table that to the 13th. They provided an email correspondence to Ms. Papp, who's in the audience, Beth. And we were all set for them to be here. And then Beth, I believe they emailed us and indicated they couldn't make it tonight. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So we indicated to them that we're looking at May 13th.
Okay. Chris Plansky with strategic planning, use of data and resources.
All right, I thought we would start this one off with the board. We talked with Jeff about this earlier, and since we are moving to Neola policies and board docs is the way to manage those, manage our agendas and meeting minutes and that sort of thing, we're going to be providing the board with laptops, with Chromebooks, which you've actually been using to look at the Neola policies, and we'll also be setting you all up with district emails. So you'll be able to sign into those Chromebooks and they can be managed by the district.
Wow.
You know, we're looking forward to not having big stacks of paper for handed out every time.
Yeah.
And to, you know, I think that working with Neil will keep us up to date with state regulations and laws regarding our policies. It'll make it much easier to keep us up to date. So, anybody have any questions on that?
What's the timing, Chris?
I think that the laptops will be purchased soon, and I think it will be rolling this out in July. Email accounts are already set up, so those of you who don't have one yet can see me and give you your password and sign in information. And the board docs, I think we're looking at being active in July.
Hopefully
as well.
July, yeah.
Okay. I don't have it signed in yet, but I'll be in there to look at it soon.
Okay.
So then a lot of this will just be on the laptop.
Yeah,
Nice,
yeah.
nice.
And you'll be able to access that from your home or work computers as well. You're not restricted to the Chromebook.
Okay.
Will you be able to, like, since the 12 says everything by email and stuff like that, will you be able to access all that?
It probably won't be by email. You'll probably, I'm not familiar with board docs, you'll probably get a notification by email when things are available, and you'll actually sign into the board docs website.
Okay.
To view policies and agendas. I'm not aware of all their notifications and stuff, so.
Okay.
So, if I may to add to that, so what we'd like to do is, in the July meeting, you know, for those of you who want to begin the process earlier, like a week before the board meeting in July, we can provide you information, we can, you know, maybe do some sample runs. And then the night of the board meeting at 5 o'clock, before the 6 o'clock meeting, we'd like to have an opportunity, we'd like to provide you an opportunity to come in early, like an hour early, maybe downstairs, and Chris will be there to go through it, to assist us, maybe to look at things, work through it, and then come to the meeting at 6. So we'd like to provide that opportunity for you to get involved that way too. Or before the meeting, if you wanted to come up a day before.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Thanks, Chris. We're gonna move on to 8.1, board president and members. Is there, well, I don't have anything as your 5-minute president. But, no.
Don't forget, you get that extra $100 a year now, too.
Oh, good gosh. Do any other board members have any communication or report? 8.11, any future agenda items?
Yes. I would
Cindy
like to
Geary.
bring forward that we look at another communication route with the tribe. Maybe not be an MOU like we've had in the past, but maybe some collaborations agreements, just to get everything back working order with them. I believe what happened in the past was sad because I really didn't want to get rid of it, but unfortunately things happened. But we just need to kind of look forward now and move forward with some, either coming up with a collaboration agreements, of better understanding of what we want from both our school board and our tribal council to come together and meet on. So just as a future agenda item for them.
We have that in May 13th. You get that, Linda?
And I wanted to bring forward the potential of having staff surveys of administration and school, you know, our 5 goals in our strategic plan, so that staff also have a way anonymously, or, you know, to bring forth how they see how we're doing, how things are going. And I know there's a variety of tools out there that other districts use, and I'd like us to look at that. Maybe that's something Kevin Strandberg will be able to help us with as well, but I'd like to see us go in that direction.
Yeah, it's a
Mhm.
great idea.
Mhm.
Chris, do you think you could look at different survey tools that would be available?
Certainly.
And then maybe our administration could take a stab at what some of the questions might be, and then our board could also provide
Mhm.
input into what some
Yep.
questions may be?
Yep.
Great idea, Debbie. 8.1.2, our finance committee. We did meet.
I was
And-
just there as a visitor.
Well, that was a
Are you
very
giving
visited
the
meeting.
report?
There
So
was
who's
a
gonna tell
rather
us?
large group of us. In addition to the committee members, there were administrators, our guidance counselor, some other support staff. And we covered vouchers, the roofing RFP architect update, a maintenance request, the 6-12 teaching schedule and student-teacher ratios, our school psychologist first-year review, school garden .5 coordinator, and we covered the preliminary 19-20 budget discussion again. Anyone have any comment, question?
I don't know whether we should talk about the budget stuff in the finance committee part, or if you want to talk about that later, in, under new business.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
talk about it there, 10.2.2. And the policy committee, 8.1.3.
We did meet, we discussed the Neola coming together. We discussed the Bayfield Point EOP safety plans, emergency service volunteer responders policy, school board and district administrative evaluations. And we'll be talking more about those as we go along here.
8.1.4, the wellness committee. We met,
We met.
yeah.
We completed the online assessment tool to
Mhm.
evaluate our wellness policy, and we'll use the results at the next meeting to develop our action plan for next year.
Can you get those results to the full board? Thank you. 8.1.5, budget committee, which I'm not sure that's a committee, it was more of a work group, so.
Subcommittee,
we
I
should-
think it was a
Okay,
subcommittee.
subcommittee.
Yeah. And I think we can talk about that at 10.2.
Yeah. Talk about what we. 8.2 reports, district administrator report.
Motion to approve 8.2.1 through 8.2.6.
Second it.
Motion by Cindy, second by Craig to approve the district administrator report, the 6-12 principal report, our finance manager report, our building and grounds report, our recreation center report, and our special education director pre-K 5 principal report. Is there any discussion? Questions?
Somehow I think the finance manager report got deleted from the revised agenda.
I didn't have one.
You didn't? Oh, okay.
A bunch of-
Okay, thanks.
With the exception of finance manager. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. We have 8.2.7 athletic report. I think he had a report in there. Jeff did. Was,
Did you get the revised?
8 point-
it's not,
Yep, it's in there, 8.2.7,
oh yeah,
Yep,
it's the revised
right
one.
before vouchers.
yep.
It's
Yep.
not on the revised agenda, but it's in our packet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We got it.
I got it, but it says 8.2.6.
You're right. All right. Do we need a
It's-
separate motion to
So-
accept that?
We can accept it, it's not on the agenda, but we can accept it.
I move that we accept the athletic report variously 8.2.6 or 8.2.7.
Second.
Motion by Glenn, second by Craig. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I'm gonna make sure I'm on the right agenda now. I have a few addition.
The previous motion didn't go, so the motion carried. The rest.
We were in discussion.
Mm-hmm.
You're very correct. That motion was messy anyway.
On a different motion, or?
Yeah, who made that first motion, Linda?
I did.
You motioned.
I motioned, Craig second.
Craig second.
And you motioned, and then I seconded on the second one.
Okay. All those in favor of the first motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So we don't have an IT administrator report, correct?
No, you did the
Okay.
strategic planning tonight.
We're moving on to number 9.1, approval of vouchers.
I
Did
move-
we approve the, we did approve
We
all
did
the
approve for the
reports?
reports in addition
We
to.
did the second one first, and then we did
Okay.
the first one
Okay.
second.
Yeah, there's a,
I move that we approve the
Okay.
vouchers in the amount of $510,059.10.
Second.
motion by Glenn, seconded by Craig. Can we have a roll call, please, Linda?
Cindy Garrity?
Yes.
Nicole Boyd?
Yes.
Glenn Carlson?
Yes?
Deb Knopf?
Yes.
Larry Garrigan?
Yes.
Larry Goodman?
Yes.
Motion carries. 10.1, our unfinished business. The first item is our roofing RFP architect update. Which I don't know if it was exhibit 10.1. Was it?
I don't think we have that.
It is, but it's not exhibit 10.1.
Oh.
It's exhibit.
There's no exhibit for that. Because someone was getting enough.
Okay. You want to give an
For the
update?
roofing.
Yeah, it's still, we're gonna go on down to the pool, tomorrow, rec center, and look at that one, so we can conclude with this. We're only 90% done with this inspection or the RFP for the school year, so I'm waiting on that. I'm gonna try to put the hurry on it tomorrow. So we can get this going, we got a lot of leaking around here.
Yeah, your report indicated that.
I run around with buckets all day.
Oh gosh, today, yeah. And our timeline is construction over the summer.
Starting right, once it's done.
Okay.
June 10,
June 10th, yes.
Monday, June
that's
10th.
what I'm hoping.
If the calendar goes up to tonight.
10.1.2, our Neola update.
Motion table till May 15th.
Second?
Any discussion, question? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. 10.2.1, school board and district administrator evaluations. They were in our packet, and Linda has indicated that they should be due to her by May 3rd. Also at policy, we did ask Jeff to obtain some other districts' administrative evaluations so that we may have the opportunity to adjust ours if we see fit in the future. So
But
we
for
may-
now, we want to use the one that we.
For
that
now,
was in
we'll
the
use this one.
packet.
Seems like that's the one we've had for a long time and it could be updated.
Yes.
Mhm.
We agreed.
So May 3rd to get Linda the board ones, and then the administrator ones go to Linda also,
They also go to Linda.
also by May 3rd.
And, yeah.
Now, at one point, I think last year we were able to do these online, but we're not doing them online this year.
I don't
Okay.
think we were. did we?
Sheila sent them.
Yeah, I never had it done.
Oh, Sheila sent them out online or by email, and I thought we went in and,
No,
so-
but that would be nice.
It would be.
If we
Are
could
these the
look into
ones-
that option in the
Yeah.
future.
Are these the ones in the packet?
especially with our
Yeah.
Chromebooks, you know?
Chris, is that an option? Is that an option?
Yeah.
You just digitize them and,
Deb, is that something
Okay.
you want done now?
No, we'll go
In the
ahead and do
future? Okay.
this, but let's put that on for next year. I think that would make sense.
And when would you like the other ones that I acquired on May,
Um,
for the next round, after May
maybe,
3rd?
Mhm.
Okay.
After
All right.
next
And
policy
we
or something.
just got off the schedule with the change in administrative assistant? Is that what happened? That we got late this year with
I
them?
think so.
Yeah.
We did ask Jeff to document that in the
Mhm.
policy meeting as well,
Yep.
because we are behind the written
Yep.
policy schedule,
Yep,
so,
I know I kept saying,
Yeah.
where are
Yeah.
they?
so,
Yeah,
In the future, then we'll go back to the January, February, March schedule.
yeah,
mhm.
okay.
Those deadlines are in the board policies. 10.2.2, our preliminary 2019-2020 budget approval. Randy, do you want to present before we?
You have a breakdown of the budget.
Oh, there it is.
Thank you.
Some of the factors that impact this
Give it to me,
budget,
Rosie.
we brought forward from
Sure.
the finance committee, a math interventionist focusing on 7th through 10th grade.
What is the difference between an interventionist and a teacher?
The interventionist would focus on the skills, the skill building that people need to get up to grade level, rather than teaching the standards, they would be looking on supports they get from that.
Okay,
And that's in place of the 2 tutors that we currently have.
so that's not a tutor, it's it's a licensed
Licensed
person
teacher.
who's gonna skill, okay.
We just can't keep our tutors around. The tutors' cost was $34,000, and estimating math interventionist at $77,000. So there's just a difference there. Also, increase to regular classroom supply budgets. That was $17,000 total. Also, the rec center, swimming lessons, that would free up Mary Lou, providing swimming lessons.
Yeah, essentially, we've been working with the recreational pool committee, and we've been collaborating the last 3 months, which has been pretty good. We've had meetings January, February, March. And the goal is to have the certified WSI swimming instructors down at the pool, when we bring our kids down there,
Mhm.
instead of having an 8-day unit where it's just kind of swim and play, they're gonna actually teach swimming this time. And so our kids, first grade on up, they're gonna learn how to swim.
Okay.
And the prices, as you can see, the budget there, we feel it's real reasonable. We'll still provide the teacher to go with them, they'll supervise the outside of the pool, but Hillary and her lifeguards will actually teach swimming classes. So this will be good for the district.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the second page, the breakdown by fund, what we can estimate our revenues and our expenses. Total, all funds, we're looking at $11,254,000 for next year. We also have some increases with our state aids, with the budget that's being proposed by the governor right now. Again, this is just an initial budget, our first, attempt. And once October comes around, we have more safe, secure numbers and be updating this.
That's a huge budget for a school this size. That's huge.
We increased impact aid revenues for next year to $1.788 million. This year we had it at 1.65, and we're over $500,000 more than what we budgeted for. For salary and benefits, 2.44% on salary. That was the CPI new health insurance options through the CISA Trust Fund. We took a team of teachers over to see the three presentations, but we are looking at an increase next year of about 9% for health insurance. Dental insurance about 5%. We're this year trying something different where we're self-funded for our dental, but our costs are running a little bit more than what our premiums have been able to sustain, so we're looking at about 5% increase on that. Any questions on the budget?
So Randy, it sounds like you're not expecting that there's going to be a lot of new information available to make any revisions until after the governor's budget is adopted. And we think that could be as late as late summer.
The latest it's been was 2 years ago, I think it was in August maybe, or September even. I'm not sure how well the governor and the legislation is getting along right now.
The governor's goals will be in August. That's his ultimate goal, is to have it done in August. It could go into September, a couple weeks in September, but he wants to get it done in August.
This,
So-
excuse
Go
me.
ahead.
This impact $8, are these for sure?
No, just an estimate.
Okay.
So when you say 11 million, you know, is huge for our district, I mean, to the average Joe here, you know, that sounds like a huge amount of money. But I'm wondering, for a school district, you know, what is a going average budget for a school district our size? I mean, obviously, we have a little bit higher expenses because we have the La Pointe, you know, operation, but that also brings us extra tax, and additional tax dollars. So is 11 million like exorbitantly high compared to other districts?
Mhm.
Huh? It
Yeah,
is?
pretty much.
Pretty much?
And it's largely the special education component.
Yeah.
And we are one of the highest, if not the highest, in the state. And the governor's budget proposal addresses the
Getting more
disparity
funding.
that
Mhm.
that local districts have had to pick up that burden. And so I think that's largely, frankly, where it comes from. And so I'm anxiously awaiting, hopefully we'll get some good news on the state improving their percentage reimbursement on that.
Right, our transfer to special ed on this budget is 1.384 million. So that's, tax dollars that goes to operating our special ed that is being covered by.
Isn't being covered by the state.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
That's like
We
a,
have some high needs coming up too.
And-
Well, special education on the front, what is that? Is that the almost $2 million?
Right, part of that is the 1.38 in revenues that we provide to it.
Okay.
And so Randy, you've already calculated into this budget the 24% reimbursement. Have you done that already in this particular budget?
I increased it to 30%.
Okay.
That's probably where we're gonna go for this next year. I saw
Okay.
that.
But that's already been completed.
Yeah.
So we won't be receiving those monies, or we will. So if it's already in this budget, the 30%. Okay.
what's the current percentage? 24?
24.
Okay. But, and I think his request for this coming year was significantly more than 30.
Not until it doesn't take effect until 2025.
Okay.
Some additional for this next year, but the majority of it will be after, I think,
Okay.
so his budget was.
Okay, thanks.
I'll make
Shall-
a motion to approve this budget as presented.
I'll second it. I just want to add one thing, and that is that we did talk, and I think there was consensus in our committee about starting next year, looking at a 3-year budget, so that we can start to incorporate some of the recommendations that Kevin makes as far as operationalizing some of our strategic plan. We can put that into sort of a 3-year budget plan to accomplish and to plan for things that we won't be able to do in the first years or second year. So that was, I think, a good change.
We have a motion by Craig and a second by Glenn. Any more discussion? I mean, this is setting the mill rate also?
No, this is
No?
just a preliminary,
Okay.
preliminary.
That'll be in October.
Yeah.
And the
Is there any other-
gardening program was not in here, is that?
We did not include the half-time garden position in here.
We did not.
We felt that it was much more important to fund this math interventionist.
Mhm. Okay.
And, you know, things do change. I mean, we might end up with a whole lot more money from the governor than we expected and can revisit some of these things, but I think for now, we were comfortable focusing on the academic aspect of this.
Yeah,
Mhm.
good, okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 10.2.3 is our proposed calendar review with our additional snow day
Okay,
minutes.
so hopefully no more snow days, because if there is, we will be here on June 10th, or we may be there unless you vote tonight. So what we did, we surveyed the staff. We met with them last Friday morning, and we surveyed the teachers and the paraprofessionals, and we provided them two options. And on top, you can see Thursday, we left for 20 minutes. We have 20 minutes early when the buses finally left, so there's 20 minutes of instruction time we have to make up. Friday the 12th, the actual snow day, a full day is 400 minutes, so we have to make those up. So option one would be to have the students and staff attend a full day on Monday, June 10th, 2019. That would be a full day for staff and students to Monday of June 10th. Or we can keep the original June 7th, Friday, that's on the calendar, but we would add minutes starting tomorrow. We would add the start time at 8:09, and the departure would be 3:37. So we'd add minutes on in the morning, and then 2 minutes on in the PM. This would fulfill the minutes required by the state. But the other thing tonight is if you do approve option two, that would allow staff to also be completed on June 7th. And that would be part of option two. The surveys came back, and it was 42-1 or 44-1. Was it 42?
42.
42-1 in favor of option two.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Craig for option two, second by Cindy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This has
Motion
been discussed
carried.
with Mother Nature.
We start tomorrow.
Mother
Oh.
Nature.
Okay.
10.2.4, approve scholastic equipment estimate.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Debbie, second by Craig. Discussion? Glenn,
Glenn.
sorry.
What is this for or about?
Mr. Weber?
Rutgers.
Elementary board,
There you go, Debbie.
Oh, are the ones that are really old?
Plus Island are getting through, things like that.
Okay, so they're just getting old.
Yeah, they were made by Bill Peterson. Getting back, you know, Craig probably remembers it.
Actually, I do.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Do we need a
10.
roll call when we're spending? No?
Sure. Yep. Roll call, please, Linda, for the scholastic equipment.
Cindy Garrity.
Yes.
Nicole Boyd.
Yes. Yes.
Adam Carlson.
Yes.
Deb Knopf.
Yes.
Mary Garrett.
Yeah.
Craig Copeland.
Yes.
10.2.5, approve Lupino estimate for retaining wall repair. Mr. Weber. This,
Down lower playground, the retaining wall is flat.
Oh.
On the east side, and is leaning heavily on the west side half of it. We definitely need to be repaired.
I'll make that motion.
Now, can I ask one question? Is this going to include the sidewalks and stuff here?
we talked about our finance.
Just for the retaining wall?
Looks just like a retaining wall, I don't see.
And this is
sidewalk.
only the east wall, only it says.
Well, could be the west too.
Oh.
This one is for the total
And I found a
17.
different
Oh, then
estimate.
that wasn't, that, it wasn't over
It wasn't over the thing.
10,000.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't over 10,000. Excuse me, it was over 10,000 on that side.
Okay. I move the approval of the contract with Angelou Pino for $17,917.
Second?
Motion by Glenn, second by Debbie. Can we have a roll call, please, Linda?
Sure. Cindy Garrity,
Yes.
Nicole Boyd,
Yes.
Glenn Carlson,
Yes.
Deb Knopf,
Yes.
Larry Garrity,
Yep.
Craig
Yes.
Whitman.
Yes.
The custom carpet isn't on the agenda, it was in our packets, and we discussed it at finance. Can we, it's not on the agenda? It's a, it's over 10,000. I mean, we can maybe pull vote, I don't know. We're gonna have to
You
wait.
can make the motion to amend the agenda to include this, if you want to act on it tonight, or not.
What's your timeline on that?
You know, like I get busy in the summer, and we'd like to have an answer. If possible.
Motion to amend the agenda to include the Custom Carpet Corporation.
Thank you.
Motion by Cindy to amend the agenda to add the custom carpet, second by Larry. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. We'll review the custom carpet proposal from Ms. Rubber for $25,500. It includes many offices and areas and rooms and.
So this is all the administrative offices primarily down
Also
in,
classrooms,
And classrooms.
that are starting to,
Around
the
this-
carpet's
it's
starting to
on
wash
here,
out.
you should see that.
and People tripping over them.
mm-hmm.
These are these carpet squares now instead, so if they get stained or ripped, tear out that carpet square and put a new one.
Oh,
Easy fix.
I'll move the approval of the bid from Custom Carpet for $25,500 for the work described.
did this go through finance? You said it did.
It did.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Motion by Glenn and second by Craig for custom carpet. We have a roll call, please, Linda.
Cindy Garrity,
Yes.
Nicole Boyd,
Yes.
Glenn Carlson,
Yes.
Deb Knopf,
Yes.
Larry Garrity,
Yes.
Craig Whitman.
Yes.
10.2.6, Bayfield and LaPointe EOP and school safety plans. First reading, waive second.
Okay, at this point, Ms. Giesregan has been working on the school safety plan for the LaPointe School and for our school here. And she is comprised of a group of committee members who have taken different parts of the plan. This plan is derived from the 2017 Wisconsin Act 143. And it creates an Office of School Safety, establishes school safety grants, makes changes related to school safety plans, and requires mandatory reporting of threats of school violence. And what I did for the board tonight, if you went on the DPI website, this is what you would see. It's a comprehensive framework. It involves, it's a community intervention, collaborative, police, school, community agencies. So what I did, instead of writing this all out for us, it's pretty comprehensive, there's a better read on it before Missy speaks about her safety plan that she came up with. This will give you an opportunity to see the criteria that is expected of the school. Larry, pass it down. No. It's a good read on Act 143 and what the expectations of the public schools are throughout the state and of private schools, all schools. And if you look at the third paragraph on the bottom, it says Act 143 also requires schools to submit specific information to the Office of School Safety. The school board, the governing board, we are now required, you're required every year prior to January 1 to review our school safety plan and to approve it every year. And so this is something new. This was originally due January 1, but us, like other schools, we were provided an extension to provide everything to DOJ that was required. If you look up on top of page 2, it gives you the criterion that is set forth of schools and what we need to provide. Copy of its school safety plan, which is tonight, that's what Missy's been working on. The date of required annual safety drills, certification that the school board or governing body reviewed a required written evaluation of drills or drills. The date of the most recent school training or school safety, the number of attendees. And the final one is the most recent date on which a school board or governing body consult with local law enforcement, so we would have the Bayfield PD come in to conduct required on-site safety assessments. So these are requirements now under the new Act 143. And part of tonight's meeting, we're asking the board to approve the school safety plan, which is up on top, and that's what Missy will give a brief preview on right now. Missy?
Anything else, Missy?
I really don't have anything else to add to that, other than it's just a requirement of Act 143, so we had to complete plans for our buildings, because we are one structure here, we have to submit one plan, but because the point is separate, it's going to be a different scenario in the event that there's some critical incident that occurs. So that's why you have two plans. And with the point, we felt that it was imperative to include the Coast Guard, because they'd probably be the quickest ones to get over there, to assist in the event that there's some incident that occurs. And then here, we had Officer Fangman, we talked to Bayfield County, Andy Runice, he's joined us a couple of times. So we invited and had a few local law enforcement available to kind of assist with this plan. It was pretty much a crunch situation where we found out we needed to have this done, and it's development, and we'll review it again, of course, and every year it has to be submitted, so it's on the calendar to have our committees come together. Now that I know there's a building and grounds committee, you guys are on this one, so sorry. So this will be included next time and assist in the process of revising it if we should need to revise it.
You said we got an extension?
Yeah,
The deadline?
January, Randy was in communication with them. And there's the different components, like there was one component where we had to provide them a layout map of each floor. So we had to do that, or just different things we have to do, provide training to staff. The ALICE training we had back in October, that was part of the training where teachers were in lieu of crisis. So there's different components that we have to perform every year now. And the board has to certify it before January 1 now.
Did I not get that?
They were in the policy.
They were in the policy function, and
Okay.
I don't know if Linda
It's
brought
all
it
in
over
the
to
back, the
actual
whole
board.
back section of my,
I just have custom carpet as my last
oh,
thing.
then you must not have gotten it.
Oh, okay.
So
We made extra copies today.
is
We
what
just
we're
didn't provide them to you, so.
Is this taken from the template that you got off
I
the
got it.
website? I mean, is some of this?
Some of it is a template.
Yeah, good, because that's a lot to start from scratch.
And I consulted with area school districts.
Sure.
And other superintendents, and just said, hey, what are you guys doing? How are you wrapping your heads around this?
Yep.
And kind of went from there. So it was a collaborative effort with areas.
So Missy, we talked about this today. Now, this is the communication piece, correct? This was on the website, is that correct? Now, there's a difference
Correct.
between
So
this
we have
and
a
operations.
crisis- Right, we have a crisis plan that we've operated, we have a big committee that meets, but that's the really finite, where do you go, what do? You don't want that published because you don't want to know
Right.
where to. So this is more of that big picture plan and not that, how is it going to happen, what's that going to we don't want others to know.
Right.
Information. So, yes, we do have another plan that's really specific steps, walks you through exactly, in the event that there's a bomb threat. Check 1, check 2, check 3, check 4, but that's for us, operations, that we don't want published. We don't want others to see that.
So our goal then is to provide the first reading in November for everybody. And if we could waive that, fine. If not, we'll do the second reading in December, before January 1. So our goal is to commit to this every November, bring it forward to the committees and to the board.
So after tonight, if this is all good and ready to go, when do we start implementing training and stuff on this?
We have
Nice.
already.
You've done things like safety drills held during the previous years, bombing, active shooting, that kind of thing?
We've done ALICE training, which is the active intruder training, where we had hands on deck. We had Shelley led the training along with Andy Brunice. He was here. I was absent that day, where teachers did the actual drills, and there was an intruder with Nerf guns, bullets, and they
We had a
practiced
report.
what it was like. And then we had a
What
report.
they call a soft closing?
Maybe, I don't, you were on the board at that time, I think, or maybe Stephanie was still on the board then.
Emergency
But we
shutdown.
did get a report, maybe Larry didn't get
I
that.
didn't see it. I was just kind of curious,
So-
what police officers were involved?
We had Fangman here, and then we had Andy Brunice.
Nobody from Red Cliff?
No.
Why is that?
Well, after tonight, we can.
Well, it just seems to
Yeah,
me that you
it-
only got a
it-
couple of officers in town, one works all day. We have 2 in Red Cliff. You know, it just seems to me that the more manpower you have, that knowing things like that, what the hell, it ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Right?
Last year originally, we did have Bill Martini involved with our panel,
Yeah.
through school and the Alice softball.
I guess I would like to see if it's gonna be an active, training, have them in the building, active. You know, we talked about this once before, when we were gonna hire an officer for the school here, and, just didn't sound to me like one person was sufficient. So, the more in mind, the better.
Any other questions?
And we're adopting this tonight. And there's a,
The safety plan that's in front of you right now, that's what you're adopting tonight. So we can then include that and send that out to the DOJ as our first adoption. And then when we do it again in November, it'll be for the second year. So,
and there's a,
The committee will start meeting in September. That's what I have on my calendar. Of course, it takes a lot of time because you have different agencies coming together. And we have 2 schools, 2 buildings to meet about. So it's going to be separate meetings and separate entities coming together.
so if we didn't waive the second reading, I would assume that we won't make the extension deadline. Okay, got it. Well, I'll move that we adopt the Bayfield and LaPointe EOP and school safety plans and waive the second reading.
Second.
Motion by Glenn, second by Debbie. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 10.2.7, consider letter of resignation.
Motion to approve.
I don't have that either.
I don't,
I don't even-
I don't know what
Linda
it
has
is.
it right here.
Kipnuk, Alaska. Where is Kipnuk, Alaska? I don't know. Nowhere land? Wow. It's an island? On
We
an
have,
island? Yeah. But
so Trent Hansen has written his resignation, teaching
An
assignment
experiment.
resignation. He's going to Kipnuk,
Yeah.
Alaska.
Oops. It's oops.
Well, I move that we accept Trent Hansen's resignation and wish him well.
Second it.
Motion by Glenn, second by Craig to accept Trent Hansen's resignation. Any discussion?
Well, we'll sure miss him over at LaPointe. He's a key player for that LaPointe school. for those half days, so hopefully we can find a good replacement as well.
We miss by a lot here at the
Yeah, I
Bayfield
think
School.
so.
Kids all around.
Mm-hmm.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Looking for an adjournment.
Make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Craig, second by Larry. Meeting adjourned, folks. Oh,
Congratulations.
all those in favor? Yeah.
Aye.